Hey guys, it's Doc, and if there are any small children, people with weak stomachs, have them leave the room, because what I'm about to show you is very disturbing. I'm actually cutting my grass when it's wet. It's horrible. Hold on. So a lot of people say, I've had people say, I've been cutting my grass wet for 25 years. Really? Your grass must suck. Let me show you why you don't cut your grass wet. This breaks my heart. I want you to see this. Look at that. That, my friends, is why. Not only is it here, but I want you to look at this. Now, if you cut your grass when it's dry, all these clippings are going to scatter lightly and have a wonderful little time. But this is what happens when you cut your grass wet. And why am I doing it today? I'm doing it today because I have 3 days of thunderstorms moving in. I do not have time to let my grass dry out. Now, if I did not do the dew method, it would have been 10 times as worse, but I couldn't get all the moisture off this. This is why what you do is you do that dew method, wipe the dew off, let the sun hit it for a couple hours and let it dry off. But this is the kind of mess you end up with. Right there. That, my friends, is a lawn fungus waiting to happen. So to all of you that say I cut my grass wet all the time, God bless you, man. Don't do it. Dry it off. So my grass is not going to dry before I need to cut it. Now, why wouldn't I cut wet grass? Because I don't want a huge amount of moisture, because it's going to take my clippings and it's going to clump my clippings. Clump clippings equal what? Clump clippings equal fungus and disease. I really want those clippings to really shred finely and get down and disperse evenly. So that's the reason why we do this. Golf courses do this all the time. They have drag units that they pull all through the golf courses. They can cut the grass earlier without clumping, and they can also resume play earlier. They can start play earlier. But I got clouds everywhere and not an ounce of sun, but I have to cut my grass today because the next 4 days it's like 50-60% chance of thunderstorms. So anyways, let me show you what I've done. I've made up a little rig and I'm going to break it down. So believe it or not, I had these in the back of my truck, and my son and I were using these PVCs. This is 1.5 inch PVC, and we're using these on the beach on our fishing trip. Then I have one of these tomato stakes. If you can see in between, there's a tomato stake in here. That's about 6 feet, I think. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to use these two pieces. Now what I can do is I can pull that tomato stake out. I can fold this up in half and store it very easily. And I just took some, this is a parachute cord. You can use whatever you want, but this is just parachute cord. And I just looped it through it. And so now I can drag it. Now I don't like this stuff to roll normally, but I'm going to try it and see how it works. I think I can record while I do this. So sometimes you miss a spot, especially when you're carrying a camera around. Just go back and re-hit it. You can see that's all I'm doing, and I can move pretty quick on this. I can really step it out. It's good exercise. Good morning cardio. Again, I could use a little more weight on there. So definitely, if you can get a piece of, they make, I think it's 3/8, and then they go up to almost 1/2-inch rebar. A piece of 1/2-inch rebar here would be kick butt. I'm telling you, it'd be great. All right, so I'm done. So now all I have to do is, I just have to take this thing, just separate this apart a little bit, and then take this, shoot that out the end. This is going to be a piece of rebar, by the way. I take that tomato stake out, which is just a lightweight aluminum one. Doesn't work well. So now what I can do is I can just fold this up. I can fold that up nice and small, and I can wrap my parachute cord around it, and that can sit in the corner of my garage. Now, is that cool or what? This is the first time I've ever cut this lawn wet, and it's because it's 11 o'clock, there hasn't been an ounce of sun, and we've got 3 days of thunderstorms coming in, possibly, and I gotta cut it. I mean, I gotta cut it. Here's what you end up with, basically. You end up with a friggin' mess. You end up with a friggin' mess. So I gotta come back, and I'm gonna rake up as much of this as I can. Now, could I bag it? Honestly, you could. What I probably should do is I probably should put my, now that I've cut it, put my bagger unit on and go back and pick up the excess. And I might even do that. I might throw my baggers on, but cutting it with the baggers on when it's wet just doesn't work out. The tubes clog up. But I do want to show you real quick. She hates the lawnmower now. It backfired once. She'll run inside. But what I do want to show you is, I do want to show you, every time I cut the grass, I rinse my mower off, and I rinse my blades because you don't want that building up. I've seen some nasty decks on YouTube. But, okay, so the nice thing about a lot of mowers these days, they have this deck wash, and this deck wash right here, it just, this piece right here, this plastic piece just snaps on. So that snaps on. I use a little valve, turn it on, and spray. Now do this in an area where you don't like your grass. Shut that off, and then what I'll do is I'll actually open this up and spray it. So I have a little area back over here that I go over in the corner because I really don't care about this corner. But anyways, so this is what comes off my deck right here. This is what comes off the bottom of my deck. So if you think that you don't need to clean, now I've ridden around the yard 2 or 3 times, bumping away, and this is what was up on my deck right there, hidden up underneath it. And I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to spray all that, and I'm going to respray all the blades. But up under here is pretty clean. Up under there is going to be pretty clean blade-wise. Nasty, man. You cut wet grass if you want. I ain't gonna cut it. I hate cutting wet grass. Now I gotta try and get all this crap up before it rains. Oh my God, help me. Watch out. Watch out. Move. Move. I'll tell you what, did I ever make more work for myself? Stupid. Next time I'm just gonna let the grass grow. So anyways, I had to come out here and I had to re-power wash all this concrete here because it was so, if you've ever tried to get grass stains out of concrete, good luck. It is a bear. But I had to come back and I had to power wash this whole section again. Gosh, because it turned all green and looked like crap. But anyways, at least my yard looks good. I didn't have an option. I had to cut the grass today. I didn't have a choice. And right about now, if you look at the radars about when the thunderstorms are going to start moving in, they're going to be hitting us all afternoon. So I didn't have a choice. I gotta cut it. So anyways, lessons learned. Talk to you later, Doc.
What did I tell you? As soon as I come inside, it starts to rain. I just got that grass cut.